guys, Tracy from Two Rocks Tarot, and I am going to be doing a VR to Nina from Shuffle Tarot, and this is the Creatix Tarot spread by Seeds of Shakti on Instagram. So I will be using the gorgeous Guardian Tarot for this particular spread. So it's only got 5 cards, so let's get to it. So the first position is, how can I create and birth what I need in my life? Oh, gosh. Oh, that was too many. So how can I create and birth what I need in my life? So I've got justice. Justice, hey? How can I create and birth what I need in my life? So I suppose is to have a fair, balanced view of things, not be too one-sided in my beliefs or in what I believe to be true of other people perhaps as well. So yeah, I think pretty much that sums it up. It's just to keep in balance. It's not to, not to be swayed, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. I just want to turn around the card and have a look at it. And it's kind of interesting because on the cups that are on the actual scales, it's got the triple moon, sign of the triple goddess on there, and I've been moving things around and doing things in my room here and setting up a new altar and so forth as well. So it's kind of interesting that that's come up. So I've been trying to work with the gods in a different way as well. So I'm thinking, and this is how I'm going to create and birth what I need in my life, is trying out new things of working with the goddess, and also not to be sort of persuaded to one side or the other as well in certain situations. It's just to keep a balanced view, and but yeah, I just find it interesting. I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of moving things around and just doing different type of things, and then I get this card here, so that's kind of interesting. So I'll leave it at that. I won't keep on going on and on. So the next one is, what do I need to nurture within myself? So what do I need to nurture within myself? And come right up. Queen of Pentacles. My inner child, isn't it, really? My inner child. I don't know, when I say inner child, it's not something that I've ever really kind of believed in. Do you know what I mean? I've always been a kind of a serious, even when I was a child. I mean, I've got a weird sense of humour. Anyone who knows me will know that. And I love a good laugh. But I don't really feel that I could ever be who I wanted to be, even as a child. I just feel like that I've never measured up to my mother in particular. I've never really measured up to her in her eyes. So as the Queen of Pentacles, what do I need to nurture within myself? So I suppose what that's telling me, because that's definitely such a mother and child, is not to look at not to look at myself through my mother's eyes, to look at myself through my inner child's eyes, I suppose, even though I'm not really into that, I don't know another word to express what I mean, but to look at myself through my youthful eyes is perhaps a better thing to say. So what I need to nurture with myself is to look at myself through my youthful eyes, and not look at myself through my mother's eyes or through anybody else's eyes, really, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I need to nurture within myself. Not to be so harsh on who I was when I was young as well, because I know I do judge myself pretty harshly in my youth. So next one is, what can I do to allow abundance to flow into my life with ease? So, of course, abundance means many different things to people. I don't look at abundance as being rich, but I do look at abundance as being, with what I've got now in my life, my husband, my family, that to me, that's abundance. Having a roof over my head, that's abundance. Having food on the table every day, that's abundance. That's abundance for me, because you know, when I was with my first husband, we were really, really poor, and it was a real struggle to put food on the table. So abundance, yeah, it means lots of different things. So what can I do to allow abundance to flow into my life with ease? Oh, gosh. At the star. And that is so true, because I never, even in my really bad times, I never gave up hope really at all. I always had this faint spark of hope at the back of my mind that things will get better, and it truly, truly did. And I'm also attracted to the owl, and I'm glad that I listened to my own inner wisdom as well. And just and as for allowing abundance into my life, it's just that it is just. I realise that my wishes have come true, so I don't know if I could get any more abundant, if that makes sense, because, you know, I've got everything that I need in my life, so I really don't know what else I could be given or get in my life to make me feel even more abundant than what I already am. I really feel that all my wishes and dreams have been answered. So, and having the star card come up like that is quite beautiful, actually. I'll leave it at that. And the other one is, how can I embrace the goddess within me? How can I embrace the goddess within me? And the Four of Swords. How can I embrace the goddess within me? That's kind of a funny card, isn't it, to come up with that? Well, the Four, you know what it is? It's not trying so hard. When you start to work with the gods, you know, follow your, you know, spirituality and things like that, and when it comes to like looking at, you know, looking for signs and everything like that, when you try too hard, you won't see them. That's it. And I've noticed now that I've stopped trying to specifically look for things, I'm seeing signs everywhere. And what I'm really struck about this card is that this tree seems to be walking through a park, and that pathway looks exactly like the path that I walk through here in Two Rocks. It looks exactly like it. It veers off like that. So embracing the goddess within me is doing exactly what I'm doing, is walking within nature, looking at the signs that nature give me. And when I rest, paying attention to my dreams too, because I've been having really, really weird dreams as well. Because we know the Four of Swords can be is a card of rest and respite, going on a mental retreat, going on a just a spiritual retreat and things like that. So to embrace the goddess within me is doing exactly what I'm doing. Is I need to pay attention to my dreams. I'm looking at signs in nature. I see them all the time. And to know that the goddess is with me. And I know she's with me all the time. She has changed my life in ways that I would never have dreamt of. So that's actually perfect to actually have a card like that. And then the final card is advice from the Empress. Advice from the Empress. Oops. I want to pop right up. And I got the Page of Cups, advice from the Empress. When you look at that card, it looks like she's fleeing. And you know what that reminds me of is that when I was younger, I didn't follow my heart. I listened to other people. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my intuition. And once I started to follow my heart, things really come good for me. They truly, truly did. And I've turned my back on any harshness and any, things that have happened to me in the past. I don't dwell on it. So this is telling me, advice from the Empress is to keep on following my heart and turn my back on anything that does not agree with me, that does not have my best interests at heart, and to always retain that youthful outlook that I have on life, because I don't think like I'm not a grown-up, and I've said that before in my other videos. My husband and I have got a really weird sense of humour, and and not to lose that. And I remember my grandmother, when she was about 80, she said to me, I feel like and I think like I still did when I was 16, but my body is different now, but my mind is youthful. And I think that's what the advice is from the Empress, is always to think youthfully and always to follow your heart. So I think that's a beautiful card to actually finish off this reading with this. So that was a very short and sweet little spread, and I think that was absolutely fantastic. So until next time, this is Tracy. Please press like and subscribe and that notification bell, and I'll see you all soon.